This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
The universe is a sphere encased by successive coverings of the elements earth, water, fire, air, ether, intelligence, and ego. As a coconut has its hard outer shell and inner liquid, so the universe has its outer coverings and an inner space half filled with ocean water. On that ocean, another Vishnu expansion reclined on a serpent bed, while being massaged by his consort Lakshmi. From his navel arose a lotus on which Brahma was born. Initially, the universe was pitch dark and Brahma engaged in meditation. Then he was empowered to create the universe. This account of creation may appear fantastic to some, but modern scientific theories also require fantastic leaps of faith to explain the origin of the universe. Vedic cosmology explains that the universe is made up of 14 vertically arranged planetary systems, or lokas. Each system resembles a galaxy and comprises stars, planets, and other celestial bodies. The topmost planetary system is Satyaloka, the abode of Brahma, which is at a height of 1.87 billion miles above Earth. Below this Satyaloka planetary system is the Tapaloka planetary system, the abode of the ascetics, which is at a height of nearly 1 billion miles above the Earth. Here, the ascetics...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Philippines Uncut. I'm your host, Buddy Kunanan. Now, tonight's show, we're going to talk about something very interesting here on the show, where we talk about everything that matters to you. And tonight, we're going to be talking about Vedic astrology and inner healing. And joining us to talk about this very interesting topic is life coach Kanchan Sadhwani. Good evening, Kanchan. Welcome to Philippines Uncut.
Thank you for having me over and allowing me to express my journey to where I am today.
Yes, madam. In fact, we showed a short video before at the start of the program, and that is like a little teaser on what Vedic astrology is all about. And from there, we're going to touch on that topic and then take off to inner healing and other very interesting topics that you are a practitioner of.
Yeah.
Now, before we do that, let's talk about you. A little introduction. Who is Kanchan Sadhwani?
Well, basically, I was born in Zambia in Africa, grew up there till the age of 20, was brought to India, and arranged marriage with my husband Gobind Sadhwani. I've been living in the Philippines for 35 years. I have 5 children. My in-laws are here. We were in a joint family, and now I'm with my 5 children all grown up. But at the present moment, I think is my happiest time because I'm now fulfilling my mission. And why I say I'm fulfilling my mission is because whatever I've accumulated in my journey of learning lessons, which is a lot of different modalities, I practice whatever brought me nearer to myself. And
Yes.
it wasn't like reaching out, where is God? I was reaching out like, why do we have to know ourselves? Any modality I walk into, any place I want to go and learn yoga, meditation, art of breathing, or even food, diets, they keep on saying, know yourself, know yourself. What does that mean? That led me on a self journey, self-interest, that I have to know who I am. And in the process, Mahikari was one of them, Art of Living was one of them, Brahma Satya was one of them, where I learned a lot of modalities to teach me of who I am and what I
Finding
am.
yourself.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about, you mentioned you're from Zambia, but by your name, you're of Indian descent.
Origin, yes.
Okay, so what brought you to Zambia?
My parents migrated there, got married there, and we were born there then.
Yes.
So I grew up there during that time.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful country, beautiful
Oh,
place, Southern
beautiful.
Africa. And now you've been in the Philippines for 35 years.
35 years.
Are you a Filipino citizen already?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so how has it been here in the Philippines all this time?
For me, when I took my oath,
Yes.
the gentleman who asked me to take my oath and recite the anthem, he asked me just one question: do you want to be a Filipino? I said, this is the most happiest time of my life, that I've learned everything in Philippines. My spirituality, my growth, my personal interests, my family, my children are all here.
Yes.
So I love the Philippines.
Yes, it's amazing that you're into these modalities, because you come from actually three different, you find yourself in a unique position.
Yes.
That you are of Indian descent, so you had that Indian culture and heritage.
Yes.
You grew up in Africa, another very, very dynamic country where they also do have a lot of these similar practices like this. And now you find yourself in Asia, in the Philippines, which is the most Western country in Asia, I think, in terms of, mindset and perception and just character, really.
Yes.
And so you're really in a unique position. Now, let's talk about your work. It says here you're a life coach. And
Yes.
you talked about knowing yourself, a journey of self-discovery and all that. What do you do exactly? How do you help people find out about themselves? What does a life coach do?
The first thing a life coach is supposed to do is listen to the client and simply be there into listening to whatever the client wishes to disclose of himself or herself, and understand where they're coming from. The pain that they're going through, they don't have probably somebody to understand them, and therefore they choose life coaches or such like places to come and reach out.
Yeah. How does a life coach differ from a psychiatrist?
I wouldn't say differ. I would just say a life coach shows sympathy and understanding and offers solution with modalities like what I have. Other life coaches I know also give solutions in that way. A psychiatrist is more professional, and they prescribe medications as plus with whatever they're doing or the question. We will not offer you medication at all.
Yes. Okay.
We will offer meditation instead.
I like that.
Yes.
No to pharmaceuticals.
No.
Yes to meditation. All right. Okay, let's tie this into Vedic astrology. How does your work as a life coach tie in with Vedic astrology, and what is Vedic astrology to begin with?
In one of the teachings that I did learn, it's a 7 cycle which is done on a yearly basis. So it's not like astrology per se,
All right.
but the Vedic chart reading that I learned shows me the 7 cycles of life, and that basically denotes to the crown chakra, to the 7 chakras of the being.
What is a chakra?
Chakra is a vortex of energy, and they are placed on the crown, the forehead, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the navel, the hara, and the root chakra.
So you're saying a human body, we humans have 7 chakra points.
7 main circuits of energy, and
7
each
chakras.
main, yes.
Okay.
And each one denotes a particular job that it's supposed to be conducive to in uplifting or opening us into being a complete whole human being. For instance, when we were doing the chakra Vedic chart reading, if a client comes and says, I have this issue, so we do have an offer of aura scan, but on that point, even we just scan through healing. We scan the person mentally. It's done intuitively.
Okay.
So that's not like a psychiatrist. A healer or a person who learns healing modalities is able to visualize and see the block in the other person. Brahma Satya
You're talking about
has-
blocks in terms of the chakras.
Yes.
So what you're saying is we all have these 7 energy points, chakra points.
Yes.
And so what happens is these 7 points have to be working well together.
all aligned
All aligned,
together.
all aligned. And
They have
sometimes
to be. If
when
a
it's
certain,
unaligned, yeah.
if a certain chakra is not working as well as the other, that person will already tell you, I have pain in my stomach,
Oh,
or
okay.
I have a lot of chest pain,
So,
or I'm able to communicate
Yeah.
well. So you know there's something wrong with that chakra.
so you're saying is that these energy points, if they're not aligned, they're not working well, it's synchronicity,
Yes.
they have physical manifestations.
100%. 100%.
Okay.
And instead of giving a medication, you would prescribe it through, how about doing these exercises, or let's do a certain meditation, and let them go through that meditation with you.
Okay, let's talk about how people, how these symptoms come out. Let's say, give me a case. Let's say if a certain chakra is out of sync, how does it manifest in the cases you've seen?
A person who is quite suicidal by thought at a certain point has been applying for work or nothing is going her way. She's going to feel depleted of that energy, which is empowerment.
Okay.
And therefore her solar plexus, which is just below the rib cage, is going to be so depleted that she doesn't have any feeling to live. She doesn't believe in herself, she's lost hope. And if such a person comes in front of you and shares, well, I would offer first angel card reading or aura scan or a meditation with that person, depending on what the client is open to. So that's the purpose of a life coach. You do not immediately prescribe a modality also. You've learned many. You will see whether the person needs what
Yeah.
and offer that.
You know, I've heard a lot about this, about how cancer, and
Yes.
we all, you know, the big C, how this is actually caused by certain, you know, more physical, but even a spiritual imbalance, or a spiritual, something is not right, as you said, maybe in the in the chakras. Is this right?
Since I'm a cancer survivor,
Yes.
but I do know that it starts first with the physical emotional imbalance.
Yes.
And when you have an emotional imbalance, it's due to either not being able to express yourself, the ability to say what you wish to say, and which leads to, it does accumulate resentment. You do accumulate feelings of wanting to,
negative feelings.
You draw that unto yourself, and maybe even wanting to attack or even taking revenge.
Yes. How does this tie up with Western medical science? You know, because if you were a doctor, you know, Western doctor, and it's okay, I'm feeling this, I have this illness, immediately bam, 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 treatment, surgery, boom.
Yes.
How do you view that from your perspective?
Initially, I was very scared of going to doctors because I knew first thing they'll say surgery, and
I don't like
that's it.
doctors.
So I stayed away.
Yes.
I went into, this is the reason why I went more into this sort of modalities, that
Yes.
I need to overcome all this by myself. I need to know what caused it, go to the root cause of it,
Amazing,
and heal
amazing.
myself.
Question. You said you're a breast cancer survivor.
Yes.
How did you cure yourself? How did you get better? Did you use this, or did you use Western
Actually,
medicine?
interestingly,
What is your
upon
story?
diagnosis, I was told that I need to have a surgery done here in the Philippines, and I need to remove the entire breast. With that thought, I rejected it immediately. I said no. And I was due to go to India and visit my family. So with my children, husband, all of us together, took my biopsy slides there,
Okay.
and had my biopsy checked there by the Cancer Institute there in Bombay. The doctor being available on very short notice through a friend who got me an appointment, he also said, since it's only first stage, let's just do a lumpectomy. Again, I rejected because I didn't want surgery. But then as my teacher also guided me, the one who's taught us all the modalities, he said, go for the surgery because you are a positive thinker, but your family is worried about you.
Yeah.
And any pain that you will experience, or which could occur as due time passes, they will panic. In that panic, you will become negative because you will get pulled down with the worry of,
infectious.
exactly,
Of
and your
course.
family is close to you. So I suggest go for the surgery, and then we'll take care of it with healing. So I changed my no to a yes, and I went in few days later for the surgery, lumpectomy. They checked the slide again of the findings. They said, we'll ask you to have your ovaries removed since you've done with childbearing. So within 2 months, another surgery,
Okay.
remove ovaries. Again, within another 2 months, no chemo, but radiation, 38 boosters. So I went for it. I said, this is the entire course, and I stayed in India, went through the healing, but it complemented background with healing too.
I guess that's a key word, complementary medicine. I mean,
Yes.
I guess, you know, here in the Philippines and Cut, we like to explore different modalities, and there's not, I believe
Yeah.
that there's not one one practice that has a monopoly on
the
healing.
getting well,
and
recovery,
I guess
yes.
you bring all of these together,
Yes.
and that's how, in your case, you healed yourself.
Yes.
Maybe pause for a break, but guys, when you come back, more of inner healing and Vedic astrology with Kanchan, Sadhwani when Philippines Uncut returns.